Well, it looks like Joe has a problem. And before we share some clips, I want to know, do you think Joe Biden is going to step down or run for president? Let me know in the comments below. So, a lot has happened in the past 2 weeks, and the Democrats keep switching like a yo-yo. Now, last week at a convention, Ari Emanuel made a very interesting take on the whole situation. He basically said that many big donors have decided to stop raising funds for Joe Biden and decided to shift those funds into the House and Senate races. Basically, the goal would be to handicap Trump with a majority of Democrats in both the House and Senate. And now today we have reports that this is starting to happen for Joe. Let's run the clip.
Disastrous. Biden campaign fundraising takes a major hit. Sources close to the re-election efforts say fundraising is set to drop possibly by half this month. A campaign spokesperson pushed back, saying grassroots dollars were strong. And then the president goes into, let the elites be the elites. Another follow-up at the end, they said, it doesn't matter. If we don't get donations, we'll do it without them.
Wow, so it looks like Ari hit the nail right on the head. According to multiple sources close to Biden's re-election effort, his campaign has suffered a significant slowdown in donations, with a major fallout from the recent debate causing a substantial toll on operations. Even one source described the fundraising situation as already disastrous, while another bluntly stated the money has absolutely shut off. Wow, talk about panic starting to set it. Two sources also suggested that this month's fundraising could be down by half, or even more from large donors alone, with donations down across the board. One of the more telling signs of trouble comes from a recent national fundraising call between Biden and his donors. According to a source, the call seemed so contrived that it left many donors feeling skeptical. The call featured Biden's most loyal supporters, who didn't pose any tough questions, which didn't sit well with other potential donors. Initially, after the debate, there was a reported uptick in donors, but this quickly fell off. This decline in support among large donors, who usually provide a significant chunk of campaign funds, could be a major hurdle for Biden's campaign. Now, a Biden campaign spokesperson, Lauren Hitt, has pushed back against the notion that fundraising is down, claiming that the first 7 days of July were the best start to the month for grassroots fundraising, with many first-time donors. On the high-dollar side, she mentioned that some donors have maxed out since the debate. However, she didn't share how many donors have reached the maximum allowed under federal law since the debate. It's interesting to see the Biden campaign scrambling to recover from this setback. They are even in the early planning stages of several unplanned fundraisers for the month to try and make up for the shortfall. What's evident from this situation is the deepening sense of disillusionment among even the staunchest Biden supporters. The fact that they had to rely on a contrived call with loyalists, avoiding any tough questions, speaks volumes about the current state of the campaign. It seems that the reality of Biden's presidency, coupled with his performance in recent debates, is starting to chip away at the once solid support base.
And honestly, this isn't surprising. The Biden administration has faced numerous challenges and controversies, from handling the economy to managing foreign policy to the border to his cognitive state. All of this has left many voters and donors alike questioning their continued support. The facade that everything is running smoothly is beginning to crack, and the mainstream media is finding it harder to cover up the growing dissatisfaction. In the grand scheme of things, this could spell trouble for the Democrats. If they can't rally substantial financial support now, it will be a steep uphill battle come election time. When even the most loyal donors start pulling back, it's a clear indicator that something is fundamentally wrong, and that is also starting to happen. George Clooney, who just raised a huge event for Biden just 3 weeks ago, has now switched sides and told Biden to drop out. He even said the Joe Biden I was with 3 weeks ago at the fundraiser was not the Joe Biden of 2010. He wasn't even the Joe Biden of 2020. He was the same man we all witnessed at the debate. But my big question is George, it took you 3 weeks to realize this? Dave Portnoy, founder of Barstool Sports, recently took aim at George Clooney, mocking the actor for waiting 3 weeks after hosting a high-profile fundraiser for President Biden. Let's run the clip.
If all these people, Clooney, Chuck Todd, whoever, everybody knew that this man is basically a vegetable, why would you ever let him do that debate unless you want to show the world that he's gone and get rid of him? So it's shameful. And the crazy part is, I think a lot of people, I said this in the rant, you could say, is Trump versus a head of lettuce? And people hate Trump so much, they may still vote for the head of lettuce. That's what we don't know, is who's actually been running the country.
And Dave is spot on here. Out of all people, George Clooney, who through a fundraiser raised tens of millions and who is the co-chair for Biden, is now all of a sudden saying this? Like, come on. Portnoy also highlighted that Biden's decline has been evident for a while, citing numerous incidents that have raised concerns about his cognitive abilities, and a simple scroll through social media will show you multiple clips. From slurring his words to losing his way on stage, these are not new observations, but rather ongoing issues that many have chosen to overlook. And Dave also raises a great question. He questioned why those close to Biden, including major Democratic figures, continue to support and prop up a candidate clearly struggling.
Onto a stage and not be able to find your way off of it. You don't get corralled at, international meetings by leaders having to walk you off. You don't fall off your bike. You don't say you had lunch with somebody who's been dead for 5 years or whatever. It's one after another after another. So I couldn't believe they let him do the debate, which brings to the point. If all these people, Clooney, Chuck, whoever, everybody knew.
Spot on, Dave. Spot on. Dave later speculates that the Democrats might be positioning for a switch, eyeing California Governor Gavin Newsom as a potential replacement. And I couldn't agree more. And I'm sorry, but have the Democrats had a look at California? There are so many issues from the pandemic lockup to the insane laws and taxes. California is not what I want America to look like. What about you? Do you want America to look like California? Let me know in the comments below. Well, that's it for this one, and thanks for watching. And make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like this video for more conservative news daily. See you in the next one.